Please help me to reach 1,000 subscribers. The text came in while she was laughing. Relax. Just a joke. Don't be so sensitive. That's what she typed, sitting right across from me, phone tilted away, her smile a little too wide, her eyes not quite meeting mine. The cafe smelled like burnt coffee and cinnamon rolls, the kind of place we used to love on Sundays. My cup had gone cold, but my hands were sweating. I should have known then that something was wrong. Not because of the words, but because of how quickly she sent them, like she'd rehearsed that line before I ever asked the question. The joke had started 5 minutes earlier. Her colleague Evan had leaned back in his chair smirking and said, "So man, does it bother you that she spends more time with me than with you these days?" I laughed. Forced. The kind you do when you don't want to seem insecure. "Work's busy," I said. "That's life." My wife laughed too. Too loud. Then she added, "Honestly? He probably knows more about my day than you do." Everyone chuckled. I felt it land heavy and sharp, right in my chest. I told myself it was nothing. Office humor. Harmless. I told myself not to be that guy. But then Evan looked at her and said, "See? I told you he'd take it well." That's when I felt the floor shift under me. For weeks before that, there had been signs. Missed calls she blamed on meetings. A new passcode on her phone. Late nights that didn't add up. She'd started showering the moment she came home, as if she needed to wash something off. Something I wasn't supposed to notice. I noticed anyway. I just didn't want to believe it. Back at the table I asked quietly, "What does he mean by that?" She rolled her eyes. "God, you're reading into it. It's just banter." Evan raised his hands. "Relax, man. No offense." But there was something in his face, confidence maybe. Or ownership. The conversation stumbled forward, but I wasn't really there anymore. I was replaying moments. Her phone lighting up at night. The way she'd turn it face down. The sudden distance in her hugs. Like she was somewhere else even when she was in my arms. Then she said it. Smiling playful like she was tossing a napkin across the table. "If I ever left you," she said, nodding toward Evan, "at least I know I'd land on my feet." The table went quiet. I waited for her to laugh. To say she was kidding. She didn't. Something inside me broke. Not loudly, not all at once, but enough that I could hear it. I looked at Evan. He didn't look surprised. He looked prepared. That's when he stood up. He pulled his wallet out, placed cash on the table and said, "I'll give you two a moment." No apology. No awkwardness. Just calm. He walked away, the bell above the cafe door chiming as it closed behind him. I was still sitting there. My wife was still smiling, but it was fading now, like she just realized she'd gone too far. "What was that?" I asked. She sighed. "You're making this bigger than it is." "Then explain it," I said. My voice didn't sound like mine. She looked down at the table. At the coffee rings. At the space where Evan's chair had been. "We didn't plan for it to come out like that," she said. That word hit harder than anything else. She admitted it in pieces. Emotional closeness. Late night talks. Complaining about me. How he understood her. How it wasn't physical yet, but how it felt inevitable. I listened, numb, as she explained her loneliness like it was a weather report. Like I was supposed to sympathize with the storm that had already destroyed our house. I thought about our memories. Vacations. Inside jokes. The way she used to reach for my hand without thinking. Now every one of those moments felt like a lie. Or worse, like something she'd slowly traded away. When she finished, she looked up at me with tears in her eyes. "I didn't mean to hurt you." I stood up. My legs were shaking, but I stood anyway. I put cash down for my untouched coffee. "I know," I said. "And I meant it. You just didn't mean not to." I walked out alone. That night, the quiet in our house was unbearable. But it was honest. No jokes. No half-truths. Just the sound of me breathing and realizing that love without respect isn't love. It's a habit. I didn't feel strong. I felt hollow. But I also felt something else, faint and unfamiliar. Self-respect. Sometimes betrayal doesn't come with screaming or slammed doors. Sometimes it's a joke at a cafe. A man standing up, paying, and leaving you to finally see the truth you've been avoiding. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is not follow them.